Okay, welcome to Mtare TV's online class, and today's lesson we're going to look at the introduction to organic chemistry. So under this introduction to organic chemistry, we're going to define what it is, and we're going to define what organic compounds are, look at their properties, and the hydrocarbon, and also the similarities between Okay, welcome to Mtare TV. Okay, welcome to today's lesson at Mtare TV online class. So in today's lesson, we're going to look at chemistry, specifically organic chemistry. So this will be an introduction to organic chemistry. So under this introduction, we're going to look at what organic chemistry is and what organic compounds are, their properties. We're also going to look at hydrocarbons, what hydrocarbons are, the difference and similarities, and also the homologous series. Alright, so without any further ado, let's define what organic chemistry is. So organic chemistry is simply the study of carbon compounds, but it does not include the cyanides, cyanates, oxides of carbon, carbonates, hydrogen, carbonates, and the carbonides, which are usually treated as part of in organic chemistry. So definition: organic chemistry is simply the study of carbon compounds. That's what you call it, organic chemistry, the study of carbon compounds. Alright, so the diversity of organic chemistry is due to the versatility of the carbon. There are three important properties of carbon atoms that enables it to form such a large number of stable compounds. And the reasons for this are that carbon atoms can, number one, form chains of atoms. This property is called the cation. Then number two, they form 4 bonds. Then number 3, they form strong bonds with other carbon atoms. So that's why they've said because of these 3 reasons, which means when they ask you in the exam why is carbon more diverse, it's because number 1, it forms 4 bonds, number 2, it forms strong bonds with other carbon, then lastly you can state this reason here. Then moving on to what we call the organic compounds. Organic compounds. Alright, so what are organic compounds? So organic compounds are compounds which contain carbon except carbonate, carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, and carbon dioxide. So this is what organic compounds that contains carbon except this type of carbon, just contains carbon except this type of carbon. So now let's look at the general properties of organic compounds. So the general properties of organic compounds are, number 1, they do not conduct electricity, meaning electricity does not pass through them. Then number 2, they have low melting point, meaning that this temperature for it to melt, or there's best example, they have a low melting point, which means only a small amount of heat is needed to it for it to change its state. Then number 3, they are flammable and volatile. They evaporate so easily. In other words, they easily catch fire. Then number 4, they are insoluble in water, which means they do not dissolve. Then number 5, most of them burn, forming carbon dioxide and water. So these are what you call organic compounds and their general properties. Then moving on to hydrocarbons. So hydrocarbon, what is an hydrocarbon? So an hydrocarbon, or a hydrocarbon, is simply a binary compound which consists of the elements carbon and hydrogen only. A hydrocarbon is a binary compound which consists of the elements carbon and hydrogen only. There are 2 types of hydrocarbons, namely saturated and unsaturated hydrocarbons. So saturated hydrocarbons have molecules consisting of single covalent bonds only, whereas unsaturated hydrocarbons have multiple bonds. So table 12.1 shows examples of hydrocarbons. Number 1 is what you call methane. So methane its formula is CH4 family. Where it belongs to the alkane. Then types of hydrocarbon is what is saturated. Another example of hydrocarbons is ethane. Ethane written as C2H4 family alkene. Type of hydrocarbon unsaturated. So just follow these definitions to know the key differences. The similarities between saturated and unsaturated carbon is that saturated and unsaturated hydrocarbons contain only carbon and hydrogen atoms which are bonded to each other and may not contain any other atom. That is what the similarities. So please pay particular attention on the similarities and the differences. So the difference is that the saturated hydrocarbons, number 1, they are also known as what? Alkenes, while the unsaturated carbons are known as what? The alkenes and alkynes. Then number 2, the saturated hydrocarbons, they have the highest number of hydrogen atoms per carbon atom. Then while the unsaturated hydrocarbons, they have a fewer number of hydrogen atoms since they have double or triple bonds. Then lastly, they have single bonds between carbon and hydrogen atoms. Single bonds can rotate between atoms, while on the other side there, the unsaturated hydrocarbons, they have double or triple bonds between carbon atoms. So the bonds are not able to rotate. So those are the major difference. Now moving on to the last part, which is the homologous series. The homologous series. So what is a homologous series? So a homologous series is a family of similar organic compounds. Simply, the homologous series is a family of similar organic compounds. It is a collection of organic compounds belonging to the same family with the same general formula. So each member in the family is called homologi. Each member in the family is called what? Homologi. So characteristics of homologous series is like number 1, members in the family show a gradual change in the physical properties. Number 2, members in the family have similar methods of preparation. Then number 3, members in the family have similar chemical properties because they have the same functional group. Then number 4, each member in the family differs to the next by C2 or by 14. Then number E, letter E, members in the family can be represented by the general formula, the general molecular formula. So this marks the end of the introduction to organic chemistry. Please pay particular attention to the definitions and their properties. Otherwise, the entire topic is based on these definitions and the concept which I'm explaining here. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask.